real change which must give to people throughout the world their human rights must come about in the hearts of people. This Universal Declaration of Human Rights may well become the international Magna Carta of all men everywhere.
After the Second World War and the Great Economic Depression, there was a spirit to think, what can we do to ensure that this kind of situations will never happen again?
Because of her travels during the war in England, during the Blitz, in the Pacific, while the Pacific is being bombed, her connection to the people of the world is so complete. After FDR dies, there are many efforts to get Eleanor Roosevelt to run for the Senate, and there's even some thought that maybe she should run for vice president. Position she is excited about, that she accepts, is when Harry Truman offers her a membership in the delegation, the U.S. delegation, to the United Nations. It was such an opportunity to build a movement for peace and for human rights. She was very aware of being almost ostracized by the men, not part of their conversations. And the irony is, when she is asked to go into the committee that writes the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, they think that's going to be a social committee of no interest, but it then becomes one of the most important committees.
Eleanor Roosevelt, being a woman who was very strong with democratic ideas, and she was really key on the draft of the Declaration of Human Rights.
I now open the meeting of the drafting committee of the Commission on Human Rights.
One other person that was such a big influence on Eleanor Roosevelt was India's Hansa Mehta. For the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it was Hansa Mehta who said, "Excuse me, Mrs. Roosevelt, if you say all men are created free and equal, around the world it will be all men, women not included." And so the words were changed to all human beings. That small change has had a tremendous impact. Women will be included everywhere. All human beings, men and women and children, have these rights.
It says that these rights of the people are not because you are from some geographical region, because you have from some culture or some religion. It's just because we are human beings, just because we exist, that we are entitled to those rights.
The real change which must give to people throughout the world their human rights must come about in the hearts of people.
Their ability to work together, to negotiate across all their differences, is really what made the creation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights possible.
It is a declaration of basic principles of human rights and freedoms, and to serve as a common standard of achievement for all peoples of all nations.
And it's particularly fitting that here tonight, the person who's been the leader in this movement, assisted though she has been by many others. I refer, of course, to Mrs. Roosevelt, the delegate of the United States.
It's one of the most significant moments in world history. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is the beacon for the future.
we will ensure that this Universal Declaration will be the light that shines and will guide how we relate to each other.
If we observe these rights for ourselves and for others, I think we will find that it is easier in the world to build peace.
Welcome back to Today in History. I'm your host, Clayton Schneider. Today, December 1st, in 1955, Rosa Parks got on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama after a long day of work and standing on her feet. She decided to sit down in the front of the bus, which was breaking the law at the time. She refused to give up her seat to a white man and was later arrested. This sparked a 381-day bus boycott led by Martin Luther King, and eventually everyone could sit where they wanted. That's been Today in History, and I'll see you next time.
Hey Generals, Mac here to give you an update on the varsity basketball teams. With winter sports underway, Tuesday marked the beginning of the varsity basketball season for both the boys and girls teams. Both teams tipped off at 7 p.m., the boys at home and girls away, both facing off against the Chantilly Chargers. The boys team dominated from the get-go, holding the Chargers to just 3 points in the second quarter and winning 76-35. The girls played a down-to-the-wire matchup, but were able to win 47-39 and also take their first win on the season. Make sure to continue to support the Generals as they take on tough teams in the Concord District, with Westfield, South County, and Centerville in their next 3 games, and hope to continue upon the strong seasons they both had last year. To add on to the boys team playing their home opener Tuesday, we would also like to take a minute of dedication for a fallen student and classmate, Braylon Mead. Braylon, as many of you know, was a senior guard on the basketball team this year and was primed for an exciting year. His friends and family remember him as an amazing athlete and student, and the team honored him by retiring his jersey number 22 and holding a commemorative ceremony before tip-off. Although he may no longer be with us, his impact is still felt by his peers and teammates alike. And in the words of John William Waterhouse, gone, but never forgotten.
As December starts, here's some updates. Look out for the girls' basketball game Friday, December 2nd, starting at 4:30 p.m.
The Winter Bazaar is on Saturday, December 3rd, from 10 to 4 at school.
There is a Cabernet Night silent auction for the chorus, December 8th at 7 p.m., and tickets are $15.